Today, the best part of Web3 gaming is how profitable and reliable it is. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint, where we are 30% of your daily recommended circuses.
The bread's on you, though.
But we have some great recipes on the wiki.
You're gonna have to read through 6 paragraphs of childhood memories, but we did make them about video games.
Topical. Nintendo has recently released an interview with the developers of everyone's favorite friend chaos emulator, Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. And like most Nintendo dev interviews, it contains a few interesting tidbits we didn't expect. For one, farting. Your Miis can fart. It is in fact listed as a little quirk for your character. I do not recommend that you describe your consistent ass gas to your coworkers as a little quirk, because they will not believe you and instead keep trying to refer you to a doctor. Or an ambulance. The developers had a big debate about incorporating farting into the gameplay, vacillating between finding it hilarious or vulgar. In the end, they deemed it a little quirk and moved on to the more important work of depicting a fart on screen effectively. Sound designer Minagishi Toru shared some feedback he received, saying, quote, "I got comments like, that's a bit too realistic for my liking." And art director Kageyama Daisuke added, quote, "We tried out all sorts of visual effects too. For a while, the fart effect looked like an explosion going off." Well done, folks. This should keep shitposters busy for hours. Animal Crossing New Horizons had a recent update to 3.02 to celebrate its 25th anniversary. And as a special thank you gift, all players have received a commemorative leaf statue in-game. It's a big fat Animal Crossing leaf, and now I have to log back into my island, ignore all the weeds, and sift through my months of untouched mail to dig it out and slam it on the statue trash heap corner of my island. Then save the game, shut down my Switch, and try not to think about all of the lovable characters I anthropomorphized with such personality during the pandemic, and then immediately abandoned upon receiving the vaccine. Kinda glad I only keep digital pets. And finally, in Pokemon Pokopia news, you are still a weird fucked up little guy, and it is glorious. I will never stop playing this game.
If there's anything I learned about hackers from the 1995 movie Hackers, it's that hackers are cool and sexy and listen to sick techno and sometimes use robots to fight over VHS tapes or something. In real life, though, it's not so cinematic, and while I admit I know very little about the sexiness of hacking group shiny hunters or what music they may or may not listen to, I do know that after making trouble for companies like AT&T and Ticketmaster, they set their sights on Rockstar Games, accessing privileged information via a third-party analytics platform. "Pay or we leak," threatened the group, warning Rockstar if they didn't play ball, secret data would be made public. But Rockstar are no strangers to having their info leaked, especially as it relates to Grand Theft Auto. So they were not very concerned. And what information did shiny hunters actually get a hold of? Well, that Rockstar statement said, "We can confirm that a limited amount of non-material company information was accessed. This information has no impact on our organization or players." So, yeah, Rockstar said that they were not going to negotiate, and they also were kind of rude and said it was basically a skill issue. So, what did shiny hunters do? They released their data, which focused heavily on the monetization of GTA Online, which we all knew was successful, but maybe didn't suspect that it was $500 million a year successful. No wonder Rockstar hasn't made a new GTA in 13 years. They're taking in $1 million a day at minimum by not making a new GTA. And what repercussions did Rockstar suffer for this publication of their market secrets? Well, turns out actually that everyone really likes it when you're successful. So far from this hack having a disruptive kind of like counter-capitalist effect on Rockstar, their stock value went up, adding approximately $1 billion to Take-Two's market cap. Sorry, shiny hunters, I don't make the rules, but I don't think you're allowed to listen to Orbital anymore.
Street Fighter VI gets a patch this week, including some important bug fixes for Bison and JP, and a dialogue update in World Tour mode for the newest member of the cast, Alex. While he's been the source of plenty of normal, healthy discourse due to his fantastic poke, incredible mix-up options, and privileged frame data, Alex is also the first in the Street Fighter cast to come out about banging their sister. Alex just arrived in Street Fighter VI, but was first introduced to the series in Street Fighter III, and all this context I'm about to drop has been slowly dripped over the years through cutscenes in the games and some comic books. Alex was orphaned as a child and adopted by Tom, his mother's cousin and his father's sparring partner. Tom's very young daughter, Patricia, was therefore Alex's second cousin and adopted sister. In the early games, Alex had this close but seemingly healthy relationship with his sister. Then in Street Fighter VI World Tour mode, we learn that Alex and Patricia are married now and expecting a child. This is a mess on its own, but let's get into the dialogue update for Alex that's brand new. Instead of indicating his relationship to Tom with the line, "my mother's cousin," Alex now says, "a distant relative of my mom or something," as if he's being deliberately vague for plausible deniability. So clearly there were more meetings, albeit between the writers at Capcom that initially gave us happy couple Alex and Patricia, but more meetings since Alex launched where the controversy was discussed internally, and the end result was make it ambiguous that they're second cousins. Was the second cousin part really the worst element of this story? To be clear and genuine for a moment, there's a serious problem that must be addressed. The character Patricia has been ostensibly groomed since birth. She's written to be a character foil for Alex's human side to juxtapose his gruesome fighting persona, but winds up telling an even darker story than The Shawshank Redemption. The Final Prison. That's Alex's level 3 super. Capcom, we look to your games for people that can shoot fireballs from their bare hands and kick their feet faster than the human eye can process. We can get depressing tales of intimate partner violence from real life.
Gunzilla CEO Vlad Korolev, a man you've never heard of, from a studio you've never heard of, with a game you've actually never heard of, proved that PR people probably are justifiable business expenses when he cleared the air about his Web3 game Off the Grid after LinkedIn posts from developers who hadn't been paid for their work started to hit the gaming news. In a nearly 700-word Twitter post, Korolev called the devs, some of whom said they hadn't been paid since October, haters who were spreading FUD. He then went on to boast, saying that Gunzilla has District 9 director Neil Blomkamp as its chief creative officer and has never delayed employee salaries by more than a week, and that Gunzilla honors every obligation with regards to its contractors in a way that works for the company's cash flow, and that's just the reality of the world we live in. He then apologized for any inconvenience this may have caused, presumably on behalf of reality, but that's unclear. When the post isn't asserting that Gunzilla absolutely pays its employees mostly on time, and its contractors eventually, it's celebrating the game's success at the expense of those devs, saying within 6 years there has never been a single day where anyone worked in a work-life balance mode. And to what end, you ask? Well, Korolev asserts through top streamers, we put a Web3 game in front of hundreds of millions, doing more for this space than anyone. And Off the Grid today is not just a part of Web3 gaming, it defines it. Now, we could sit here all day and red pen Korolev's post, but that would require infinitely more work than it took to write it since it was clearly written using generative AI, so I'm just going to do what AI can't and provide you a succinct and accurate summary. Since Korolev justifies Gunzilla's malfeasance by citing the game's success, let's check that. Except we can't, not unless we pay, since Korolev in further posts said he would share new user account information with anyone who buys 100,000 guns, the game's proprietary cryptocurrency, per day, and that's extremely normal. So we're going to infer. According to Korolev, 3,000 people join the game every day. According to Steam charts, the game's highest peak player count was 15,247. But maybe they're not playing on Steam. Korolev also claims the game is in front of hundreds of millions. Is it? Last night on Twitch, Off the Grid was being streamed by 6 channels to 7 viewers. But we should note that because Twitch viewer totals include the streamer, that actually means a single person was watching. Even Korolev's assertion that Off the Grid has done more for Web3 gaming than any other title, therefore, is also probably false, since the Web3 gaming tag returned 3 channels streaming to 5 viewers. Truly the best to ever do it. Hey, do I have anything in my teeth?
Why ask now?
We were talking about eating bread earlier, and circuses make me think of dental care.
This is because you equate your fear of clowns with your fear of dentistry.
No, it's because my dentist has this big hat that says Lion Tamer on it. Coming up, Fortnite is reportedly pinning its hopes for future profitability on a Disney-themed extraction shooter. And if they can somehow earn money by inventing new bizarre sentences, well, then it's already going to be a success. What the fuck? Why do you need a Disney extraction shooter?
Nobody knows.
I mean, Marathon's doing pretty good.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah?
I don't play it. I know people who do play it. It sounds like everyone's having a gas. Good for them.
Yeah, that's an extraction shooter. People like dying to that.
Yeah.
But I will say, I don't know. I guess Fortnite needs to make more money.
Don't know why it needs to be Disney, but you know what? Like Lorcana is a card game, and it's a Disney card game, and that's a combat. Because you have to have combat in those kind of games, right? So,
well, actually, sure. I'm gonna say Lorcana, you don't actually reduce your enemy's life total to 0 to win that game. You build your resources.
I see. You're accruing points to get to it.
Yes, exactly. You are building your lore power. I know people who are really, really good at Lorcana, and I could definitely send them a text and ask, but I don't think they need to be bothered at work to settle this.
So Fortnite wants to then make a Disney-themed extraction shooter, maybe where nobody's shooting each other.
Yeah,
Extraction blanker.
Well, what's the opposite of shooting?
Fucking?
Gooping.
Oh, wait, that's gooping. Wait, I like that a lot better. Yeah, gooping.
You've got a...
Your extraction gooper.
Well, remember you'd go to an anime convention to get glomped?
Ah, yes.
An extraction glomper.
I like that,
You physically extract them.
Just making a giant Katamari of Disney-themed characters.
Like a big Disney Katamari would be good.
That would be fun, actually, yeah.
You know what? Okay, I'm all in on this game.
Really
Let's go.
clever, yeah. Okay. Good job, Fortnite. You done it again. If you also would like to see cartoon-themed video games manufactured, why not give money to our Patreon? Because those things are probably aligned. Patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. You can also hit up the store at store.loadingreadyrun.com. And for all of you who are supporting the YouTube here, you're going to see your names after the bump. So we'll see you later.
Thank you, friends.
I do not recommend that you describe your consistent ass gas for your coworkers to your coworkers. If you want to know who writes the stories every week, Heather has been adding chapters to the YouTube, so you can actually see who writes each story by looking at the chapter. If that's something that if you're trying to find out who did what. So if we ever forget to mention it here, by all means, look it up there. Who wrote the stories this week?
Nelson wrote the story about Street Fighter Alex and the update to his dialogue to make him less weird and gross.
Yeah, hopefully. And then Cameron wrote the story about the Web3 gaming company whose name I already blessedly forget.
Gunzilla.
There we go.
Like, here's the thing. Nobody had heard of this guy until he had a big crash out.
It's true. Yeah. I guess that's how to get famous on Twitter.
And, not to disparage the devs or anything like that, people who have not been paid by shady gaming companies is not necessarily going to be huge news these days.
Fair.
This is not to say that they shouldn't have been paid or anything like that, or that we shouldn't feel sorry for them. They should be paid. We should feel sorry for them. This Gunzilla guy. Mm-hmm.
He can sow what he reaps.
Yeah.
He can reap what he sows. That's what you do.
I will point out that the Steam highest player count had climbed this week based on his press, but it's going back down now.
Oh, well.
So. And Graham wrote the hacker story. And you wrote the story about Tomodachi farting.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That also includes some Animal Crossing news and some Pokemon Pokopia stuff.
Just really a reference to it.
Yeah.
Just to keep it fresh in mind.
Keep all the life sims together in the news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another company probably wouldn't release 2 life sims right beside one another.
Yeah. Yeah.
They might have said, well, if we're going to do a Pokemon, do we need another Tomodachi Life one?
I guess they're figuring that they need to get the market that doesn't play Pokemon.
You know what? Or
How
they're
big
like,
is that market?
Or I think maybe Nintendo was like, hey, let's make this game. Let us make this game until this game is finished. Then let us release the game. And that's kind of how we ended up with 2 games that are kind of in similar niches at the same time.
Tomodachi Life was under development for the last 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah, because the last one they made was for 3DS, right? And I have this feeling that what probably happened is they were making it with an eye on the next gen platform for a console.
Oh, and it might have been for the Wii U.
Yeah, well, they were probably making it for the Switch initially. So like the Wii U is out now, and then the Wii U went away fast. And so they were like, okay, well, we're still working on this, and we'll just target the Switch. But it was like, it took them long enough to get there. That's like, I guess this is really just coming to the Switch 2.
We'll just hold it for Switch 2.
Why not?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad the game's out.
Yeah, me too. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun for shit posters.
Yeah, you can't take videos, eh?
No.
Because they're like, we know what you're like.
This is what I'd heard, apparently, is that, yeah, Nintendo's not going to enable the image capture or the video capture mode in the game. They're going to let people... gonna let people do this. Is like, you can video capture it with a capture card yourself, obviously, if you're a streamer, but they're going to disable the other stuff. This is, again, what I've heard. I haven't played the game yet because I think it comes out today, so who knows if that's going to be enabled or not.
If you are making Tomodachi Life shitposts, please let us know if you've been able to get your foulest jokes out of the system natively, or if you have to, use some sort of additional capture device to get Cumfuck Island out into the world as it deserves to be.
Forward those to our account on Blue Sky or Mastodon. That's how we want to hear about them from you.
I'm going to put them in the comments below so we can dongle the bongle and game the engagement algorithm, because everything is fake now.
Definitely add links to things, so people love clicking on links in YouTube comments.
My god, yes, people love that. To links to like .exe files.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
.bat.
Oh.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye again. Farting. Your Mii's can fart.